we clear the grid and get ready for the first race of the 2010 Ulster Grand Prix.
It's the Lisbon City Council Superstock. It's 6 laps of this 7.5 mile circuit. The form book says Hutchie's on fire. The form book says Keith Moore might be unbeatable.
And we're about to go. Watch the lights any second now. Who will be the first down into the flying kilo? Great start there from Ryan Farquhar. So too Keith Moore. Ian Locker from row 2. Ian Hutchinson as well is up there. But it's going to be Farquhar who leads them through the flying kilo for the very first time.
Looking back at the pack from Keith Moore, and that's Hutchie picked off on that flying kilometre. And the whole pack streaming in as it narrows and bends left. We're running down towards Lethamstown. This is the first real stop on the circuit, and we'll find out who's late on the brakes when we get there. But that BMW looking strong as ever.
Yeah, second place for Keith Moore, but he's behind Ryan Farquhar, and this is exactly what Ryan Farquhar needs to do. He's losing around 15 brake horsepower to the man behind him, Keith Moore, and Ryan Farquhar has to go now, and he has to break them now if he's got any chance of winning this race.
Fast Getaway is the name of the game here. Remember, we're road racing on what all the riders agreed would be. Passed by Keith Moore. Ryan Farquhar hasn't done it, has he?
Well, that's exactly what the BMW is designed to do. Goes through, and now Ian Hutchinson, having watched Keith Moore go through, will fancy a little bit of his own as they go down Deers Leap for the very first time.
Fuel tank punching up into your chest cavity as they bottom out there, and then running down the hill towards the right turn at Cochranestown.
Watch Hutchinson. Watch Hutchinson. He's behind Farquhar as Moore starts to leave them. And this could be Hutchinson's moment now. He doesn't want to let Keith Moore go and leave those two behind.
130, 140 miles an hour, winding up the throttle as they head out towards Ireland's corner.
All the time that Ryan Farquhar's in front of Ian Hutchinson, it's doing the world of good for Keith Moore. Ian Locker, great fourth place from him, the 47-year-old on the Kawasaki, and the 5 bikes at the front seem to be breaking away from the rest of the pack. We've got the likes of Bruce Anstey, Cameron Donald, Guy Martin and Michael Dunlop in there as well. Loads of potential race winners, but at the moment it's the man on the BMW doing the business, and all the time Ian Hutchinson just cannot get past Ryan Farquhar.
Going uphill now, it's all up here, all the way to the top of the circuit at Wheelers, and just look at Ryan Farquhar pulling away there.
Yeah, Ian Hutchinson leaving it too late as they go into the turns. He knows it's going to be on the faster straight bits that maybe he's going to get. Oh no, he goes. This is Ian Hutchinson's moment now as he's trying to go the long way around Ryan Farquhar. Here he goes, the side-by-side. Hutchinson into second.
Through Joey's windmill and still climbing uphill. Keith Moore has done what he needed to do. Look at the class of gap he's got there.
Well, Hutchinson now, he knows what his job is. Oh, Locker's on Farquhar as well now. So Ryan Farquhar finding himself going backwards on this opening lap. But it's going to be a Moore against Hutchinson at the front, unless Ian Locker can now get past. What a surprise that would be. What an upset for the form book it would be if Ian Locker could get through and get involved with the front two as well.
He's been doing this for years, Ian Locker. Right bike, right day. He's always a podium contender. Through Lindsay's hairpin. No places to be gained here.
But Gary Johnson's gaining places, and he's 5th now behind Locker. Cracking start from Gary Johnson. And again, another rider that no one would have expected to be running at the front.
Just a real axle view there from James McBride. This is the exhaust pipe view from Keith Moore. Running downhill now. Porridge, this is so quick through here. They've shaved the hedges, as you can see, and opened it up so you can see where you're going. And you will see overtaking down here now, and you never used to.
But will you see overtaking is regarding Keith Moore. He is breaking away, and it could become a one-horse race and a fight for second. The little group of 4, that gang of 4, Johnson at the back, behind Locker, behind Farquhar, behind Hutchinson, who it seems is breaking away from Farquhar, but is he closing on Keith Moore?
Just being kicked up at the edge of the circuit as they come blistering past the grandstand and onto the flying kilo at the start of their second lap. Hutchinson off the back of... Oh, that was so close, wasn't it? That was nearly him out of the seat there.
Again, the TV pictures don't really do it justice because this circuit goes up and down all over the place. Not just the bumps, but the way the track drops down from Deers Leap as we look, and you can see there, look at the front forks on that big machine. You just see them being worked over time. As into Lethamstown goes Locker with Gary Johnson right on his rear.
Well, Gary Johnson's made a good recovery. He was nearly pitched off that bike then, but he's come straight back and got on the Ian Locker's case immediately as they go towards Deers Leap. If you get this front wheel shot going over the top, you'll see a brief glimpse of Belfast in the distance, and then the world will turn black again.
Oh, Keith Moore around Deers Leap, Sophie Hutchinson. What a fantastic part of the circuit Deers Leap is. It's like a mini
front wheel was
Paddock Hill bend at Brands Hatch. It just, the world drops away from you, doesn't it? And
it certainly does. Locker's front wheel came right off the ground there. That was not efficient. He will be caught by Gary Johnson.
And where is Michael Dunlop? Where is Guy Martin? Where are the task bikes? It's these 5 machines at the front. But Keith Moore is writing the script for this, the first race of the day, and he is flying away with it. Everyone said that Keith Moore could be the man to beat here, and it seems to be proving to be the case. This could be his day.
He's overdue for this international win, and just look at it. I know the camera stretches it out and makes it seem further away, but look, he's got a decent, healthy lead going on here.
Just under 2 seconds.
And if these boys scrap among themselves, he's got it made. All he's got to do is hope that they keep each other busy while he just does nice, tiny laps, nice, clean tip-ins, nice, perfect braking, good lines, everything. Ride a qualifying lap and let them scrap over each other's seconds places, third place. Ian Locker still holding off Gary Johnson, but this is keeping them busy and slowing them down.
They're thinning out a little bit, aren't they, at the front as well? It doesn't seem to be. We're not anticipating any moves at this moment in the race. Still early days, of course.
Over the top, up to Wheeler's highest point of the circuit at Turnergraph. Flying through there. It's an anti-view, this, isn't it, from James McBride's front wheel. And you can again see how this circuit is mostly smooth, but there are plenty of bumps to keep the suspension working. This left turn here is a fantastic corner on the circuit, and again you get this panoramic view over the countryside, but the riders will be too busy for that. Amor, Hutchinson, Ryan Farquhar, Locker still fending off Gary Johnson, but only just now.
I think Ian Locker may have made some kind of mistake because he's really lost ground on Ryan Farquhar and the 3 machines in front. Ian Hutchinson on the engine, he's had all the success this year in 2009. It's the Superstock winning machine from last year as well. Keith Moore straight out of the box, just a modded suspension and exhaust on the BMW S1000R. And Gary Johnson, I think he fancies 4th place.
Well, if Ian Locker does that wheel wobbling thing again, he'll be past him. But here are the leaders. Keith Moore on the BMW, Hutchie, then Farquhar. The leading trio still getting away from these. And Ian Locker riding the wheels off that Black Horse Kawasaki, and he is just looking like a man under a lot of pressure at the moment.
He is, but Farquhar, it's worth noting, okay, he's gaining away from these, but Farquhar is losing ground on the front 3. I could suspect that we can... No, I was going to say...
I thought that too.
Oh, he's going to try this time. Here goes Gary Johnson up the inside of Ian Locker. But Ian Locker's got the middle part of the road. You have to have the middle part of the road out of the flying kilo if you're going to have pole position into the next turn, which is exactly what Ian Locker did. Great blocking from the Welshman.
Tremendous move from Gary Johnson. You've got to say it was optimism, but he's up for it, isn't he? And Ian Locker, he's not going to keep that 4th place for very much longer. Leathamstown on the gas, Deers leap ahead. You're looking up to the sky now.
Yeah, one of the fastest parts of the circuit, really winding up the power. And watch Gary Johnson trying to pull out the slipstream of Ian Locker. He's had enough of sitting behind him, hasn't he? And Johnson goes through. So Gary Johnson up into 4th place, but Locker perhaps could fight back. No, it's Johnson up in the 4th, and I think Locker, he knew that Johnson was coming through, and he held back and let the Englishman go.
I think you're right, Dave. I think Ian Locker gave ground there. He didn't have to. He could have braved it out and given Gary Johnson a difficult choice.
It could have got nasty if he hadn't.
He's been doing this for too long, hasn't he?
He has. So, a new 4th place then, in the shape of Gary Johnson. We're riding further back with James McBride, further back down the order. And again, great view there of the Dundrod circuit. But here's the man who's leading, Keith Moore from Ian Hutchinson. We should see Ryan Farquhar. There he is. He's dropping off the pace, but again, Gary Johnson still, 7-8 bike lengths behind. Ian Locker in 5th place and not out of it in terms of a podium.
Ian Locker doesn't look like he's given up at that 4th place, does he? He's riding behind Gary Johnson, and if he waits there patiently and he can stay in touch until the last lap, he might have a go himself. We're more interested, of course, in the kind of gap that Keith Moore has got at the front, and it's not a huge one now, is it? What would we say, 1.5 seconds there?
It certainly is, and Hutchinson is not letting Keith Moore go, is he?
He's got his head down, Ian Hutchinson. They have indeed broken away from Ryan Farquhar, though, haven't they? And it is all about those two. Gary Johnson, Ian Locker, continuing their battle.
And maybe, I think, Richard, those two are benefiting because they've both got 2010 machinery, both got brand new bikes, brand new engines, and they're reaping the rewards. Okay, they're in 4th and 5th, they're not at the front. But where is Guy Martin? Where is the likes of Cameron Donald and Michael Dunlop? And what a great start we've had to the day. Amor against Ian Hutchinson at the front as they go down to Lindsay Hairpin for
the 3rd time.
Yes, the 3rd time.
We're halfway through, and Keith Moore he will know that Hutchie has called him up. What he won't know, you're quite right, Dave, is that that Hutchie has set a new lap record on that second lap at 132 miles an hour. It was previously 130, so he's upped it by 2, and that's what brought him up on the tail of Keith Moore. And look, he is on the tail of Keith Moore.
And it certainly has become a two-horse race now, hasn't it? It's BMW versus Honda. It's Scotland versus England. It's Keith Moore versus Ian Hutchinson. Great view of the Dundrod circuit. You can see the way that the circuit flows as they come to complete yet another lap. And Hutchinson is closing in, isn't he? Hutchinson is closing in. It could be on for another lap record. He's right in on the rear of Keith Moore.
All the way down the hill, he just reeled him in, wasn't he? He was like 10 lengths behind him at the hairpin, and he's right up the exhaust pipe now.
Look at him go, look at him go! Ian Hutchinson up the inside. He should maybe be on the right-hand side as they go around the flying kilo. Moore, though, looks like he's got the middle of the road. That's the important bit, and he's still got the lead. But Hutchinson has given Moore a mighty slap in the face.
Hutchinson, though, is the man on a mission as they run down towards Leathamstown. Look at him, he's right on the back wheel of that BMW, and he's ready to do it again. He might be able to charge down the inside at Leathamstown under brakes, but it's no one's favourite place for passing. But if he can get a drive out of this corner, if he can get up this hill.
That's the important thing. You've got to get the exit right out of Leathamstown. If you don't do that, because you've got these big straights, all the way up towards Steersley. We're looking further back. Yeah, with Ian Locker still behind Gary Johnson and Ryan Farquhar. Those are the front two, though. Hutchinson winding it up down Dearsley. This could be a moment for him as he's right behind Keith Moore. It's slipstreaming all the way. He's trying to pull out the slipstream of Scotland.
Oh, look at that.
There we go. You can see right behind him. I don't think it's going to happen just yet. Locker behind Farquhar, who's now behind Gary Johnson, but maybe not for longer, because Farquhar, having lost third place, looks like he's trying to regain it.
Look how good Keith Moore is through that right turn there at Cochrane's Town. It's worth tenths to him going through there. Every lap he's later on the brakes than Ian Hutchinson. He gets the line right, he gets the power out, but it doesn't do him any good because Hutchie's right with him now.
Look at the speed that Hutchinson's carrying through the corners. These are so fast, these corners, aren't they? 4th, 5th gear corners, and you see a little bit of knee down. You don't get a great deal of knee down on road circuits, but certainly at the Ulster, it's so fast and flowing. And again,
and it's smooth too. It gives you the opportunity to ride like a short circuit, and that's what's so good for Ian Hutchinson. Of course, he's doing this week in, week out on these bikes, riding short circuits, riding corners like this, racing opponents like Keith Moore. He is absolutely finely tuned, and Keith Moore's doing a brilliant job of keeping him behind, but he is under the most intense pressure now, and Hutchie pulls a tear off up, tucks back behind the bubble and puts the pressure on even harder.
Maybe this time, there is a gap inside if he can get inside. Keith Moore not. It's just these two are going for it, aren't they? And it's Hutchinson! Ian Hutchinson up the inside, he's got him. Hutchinson's got him. Through into the lead he goes. So Ian Hutchinson on Keith Moore, and that was fingers over eyes time, wasn't it?
Ian Hutchinson had made up his mind he was going to do that no matter what Keith Moore did, no matter what line he took in that corner. Hutchie was going through at wheelers and he just went through like a steam train.
Here goes Keith Moore though, coming up to the Lindsay hairpin. Mistakes really make or mean prizes for other rivals.
Down the outside, can't be done.
Can't be done, no. Hutchinson keeps it nice and tight, but Moore keeps the speed up. And again, the hairpin is another one. Crucial you get your exit speed right.
They're waving him on, so I don't know who they're waving to, whether they're waving to Hutchie or Keith Moore, or both of them. Probably being bike fans, they're just loving the racing. This is fantastic start to a great day in the sunshine here at the Ulster Grand Prix. And here we go again. Is Keith Moore going to catch Ian Hutchinson down here through Quarries?
Well, I don't know. I don't think so. I think we're going to have to wait perhaps the Flying Kilo or maybe after Leathamstown. Keith Moore, though, right behind Ian Hutchinson. And look at the gap back to third place. These two,
haven't they?
They're in a race of their own. It's Farquhar back in. Oh, in fact, Johnson's dropped back to 5th place. What a ding-dong these three are having. Farquhar, Locker and Gary Johnson.
Three bikes in the space normally occupied by one, and they're nose to tail.
Keith Moore back in front. Keith Moore back in front, out of the Flying Kilo. And we are game on. Ian Hutchinson behind Keith Moore. Ian Hutchinson won this race last year, of course. He doesn't want to give it up. Keith Moore, everyone's been tipping in to do the business at Ulster this year, and right now that's exactly what he's doing. But Ian Hutchinson is giving it to him hard, isn't he?
Ian Hutchinson is on the back of 5 international wins on the roads. He wants to make this 6 in a row and keep that unbroken record going.
Next time as well, just look at Keith Moore's rear tyre. We just saw a glimpse of it there. Little bits of rubber were starting to come off the rear of Moore's machine.
That's going to cost him. Down the hill they go, tucked behind the bubble. Hutchie won't catch him with the wheel in the end. He certainly won't catch him going through this right-hander at the bottom of the hill. Keith Moore is absolutely sublime at this corner.
And that pass from Ian Hutchinson on Keith Moore might just be the wake-up call that Keith Moore needed, because over the opening couple of laps it looked as if Keith Moore had this race in his pocket. He was miles and miles away, or so it seemed, certainly on this racetrack. Hutchinson, though, has reeled it in, passed him. And Moore's got back in front, and he'll be thinking, no, you won't be doing that again. Hutchinson's thinking, yes, I will.
Yes, definitely he's thinking that, isn't he? We're running out of laps now, and they'll be shown the last lap marker when they go past the pits next time.
Look at this guy, Martin Michael Dunlop, and that looks like McBride and William Dunlop. Yep. What a great battle they're having. So again, plenty of entertainment, not just the front two machines on the road for the fans that are lining the Dundrod circuit. Battles going on everywhere. What a start to the race. Oh, someone's in trouble by the looks of it.
Just a little bit slow there. It's bike number 93.
Oh, it's back markers. It's back markers. Moore and Hutchinson. What part will they play in this race? Certainly, this is a good part of the circuit to come up against back markers. The Lindsay hairpin is not a good place to come up amongst back markers.
Kevin Maxted was trying to keep out of the way of all this, and not really managing because they're
everywhere,
aren't they?
Sorry, Richard, look at that. There is a back marker just ahead of them now, and they are going to meet him at the Lindsay hairpin.
Hutchie on the inside.
Look at the Moore's tyre as well. Look at his rear. It's just a little bit rippled, isn't it? There's little chunks
chunking off.
Yeah,
completely.
Chunks coming off that rear tyre. And Hutchinson, we don't know what his rear tyre's doing either, is it?
No, we don't. But Keith Moore has got one more lap to go with that rear tyre.
Gaining. Look at that. Look at the speed Hutchinson was gaining on Moore there. But now Moore gets on the power again as they come down to complete another lap.
Yep, coming up to the end of lap 6. There's one more to go after this, and these two have got another 7.5 miles of racing.
Look at the crowds, all of them on their feet. They know they're watching a battle royale as Hutchinson gets in behind them all.
Oh,
here he comes across the line.
And it's a red flag.
Red flag. Now then, what happened the last lap? Ian Hutchinson was first over the line last lap, so if they count it back, Hutchinson has won that race. We'll have to wait for official confirmation.
I'll tell you what, looking at Keith Moore's tyre, I think he should be jolly glad, because he was going to be second in any case, looking at the state of that. Red flag waving. There's a rider down on the course. Unfortunately, the race is one lap short. That does count back, as Dave says. So Ian Hutchinson wins it from Keith Moore and Ryan Farquhar. So let's have a word with Hutchie then, the winner of this race.